What is good, Mark? Thank you for hopping on the Vetted podcast. Mark is absolutely legendary 20-year-old from Kazakhstan running an agency doing well over $200,000 a month in the content space, and I thought Mark would be an awesome guest to share like some of his backstory, how running the agency has been, and like where how things are looking in the marketing landscape right now on Twitter. So Mark, if you want to quickly just introduce yourself, explain like how you got to where you are, like what you're working on right now, where you're from, would be good.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you, Bradley. Thank you, Harry, for inviting me to the podcast. Yeah, we've known each other for quite a while, and excited to share some knowledge, some stories, some ups and downs in my career. So yeah, hope it's going to be useful. Yeah, I'm the founder of Scale, right? We are the motion design and the launch video creation agency, basically based in California, right? We work with all the tech startups, like with the big like enterprise companies, with the small like pre-seed companies, with the like Series A, Series B, Series C companies, and everything like that. I have a team of 17 people at the moment, right, based around the whole world, right? And yeah, we probably have done multiple launches that you saw on X and LinkedIn, right? And they go viral all the time. I think we made like over like 30 or 40 million views in total over the last like 50 to 60 launches. And yeah, I'm originally from Kazakhstan, and yeah, I build a team. I build a business fully remotely, and yeah, so basically, last month we broke the 200K mark, and I guess yeah, right now we're the 200K MRR agency.
Awesome, yeah. And I want to actually take it back to the beginning. So, when you were around like 14, 15 years old, you were posting on Medium, making around 4K a month. What made you drop that and switch to design?
Yeah, exactly. So there is a funny story, and there is a reason behind that. So when I was working on Medium, right, I was making maybe like yeah, like 3 to 4 to 5K a month, right? It wasn't stable, right? It was like yeah, depending on the month. And yeah, eventually the CEO of Medium, I think, changed, and they changed the algorithms of the Medium, right? And so because of that, basically for your article to go viral, they needed to review that manually, and they need to boost the article, right? Because of that, basically a lot of articles that I was publishing, right, they weren't getting noticed by the reviewing team, like in house in Medium, right? And because of that, my monetization dropped like from like 4K a month to like $400 a month, or like $500 a month. So basically like 10x. And because of that, I had a few other big creators on Medium, right, who basically switched from Medium to X, to Twitter at the time. And they also like advised me to do the same, right? Even though I never used Twitter in my life. And by the way, as long as I'm from Kazakhstan, right? Like not I haven't seen like a single person here using Twitter, right? It's usually like more frequent like in the US and like on the West, right? Like in Europe and US. And like yeah, like here no one uses Twitter, so I never heard about that. I never used that. And yeah, a few of my friends they just like teach me this platform, how to use that, how to post the content, like what to post. And in the beginning, I wasn't, I didn't have a design agency, right? So every time I was posting, I was just taking my articles, my previous articles from Medium, and just like dividing them into multiple highlights and multiple like quotes and like paragraphs and like yeah, like all these like little snippets, and just like making like separate tweets, right? And I've been doing that for a couple of months, and honestly, like, these tweets they didn't get like any views. Maybe like 5 views, 0 views, 10 views, 100 views. Like that's maximum, right? And eventually, then I just like pivoted to become like a full-time designer. I was freelancing. I was yeah, like taking some projects. I was growing like in the design industry, right? And then like when it actually blew up.
Everyone knows that in the last couple of years, content and distribution have become one of the most important things for new tech startups. So if you're a brand looking to hire top tier creative talent, or if you're a creative looking to work with better brands, check out Vetted. Vetted is an application only job board. Only the best editors get approved. Most people get rejected. And on the platform, you can connect on the job board, you can exchange services in the marketplace, or you can just connect with and discover new talent. If you want to check it out, go to vetted.cv and use code MARK for 25% off your first job post. Thanks for watching. There's going to be a lot of like different freelancers probably watching this who might be in their first year of being an editor or a designer, getting clients on Twitter. Like, walk us through like what the first like 2 to 3 years looked like from even like from learning the skill to getting your first clients to like starting to get the revenue up a bit? Like, what did that look like? How did you approach it?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So the thing is, I didn't have him for my first client since before I reached like 5 or 6K followers, right? So that was like a quite a long journey, at least I guess like 3, 4, 5 months to reach this level and get the first client. So before that, um, yeah, I guess the issue that many freelancers face is that they post content like on X, on IG, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, like any social media platform, and they basically attract the same people as they are. So other designers or other creators, other freelancers, but other
Yeah.
clients. And that's the exact issue I had for quite a while. So yeah, I had like maybe like 3, 4K followers, and I didn't get a single client because all these thousands of followers, they were all designers, right? And obviously designers were not going to buy the websites from me. And by the way, at the time, we were not doing the launch phase, we were doing the websites and like branding stuff. So we're more like a web design agency. And so yeah, we didn't get any clients. And the way I got my first client, that was kind of funny, right? It actually goes back to WOP, right? As you, Harry, were working with WOP before, right? That's a funny story. So we I applied for the UI UX position at WOP, right, to work with them, and they rejected me. And because of that, I decided to make a redesign for the WOP's landing page, right?
Hmm.
And I made like a story, I made like a copy, like yeah, like WOP like rejected me, like here's like the design I made, like what do you guys think, right? And the post blew up to I think like 100K views, right? And because of that, I guess like some potential clients saw the post, and I got like 20 call bookings like within the first week, right? And I closed maybe like third of them, maybe like 40% of them. I don't quite remember. So yeah, that was like the first like wave of the clients that I got, right? Because of this like
Hmm.
viral post, right? And then I just like repeated the same thing over and over. And actually, I like mentioned this like little hack all the time, like in every like podcast I go to, every like interview I give. That yeah, the thing is like I just did like high quality job for a company that many people know on X, right? That had some controversy
Hmm.
inside of the post, which made people to interact with the post, like quote, like dislike, like, and like everything like that. And so because of
Hmm.
that, the post went viral. And I did the same. Yeah, I did the same with Bold. I made like a free animation for them. Like I also like came up with some story behind the animation. They saw that, and because of that, we also signed the contract with Bold.new, right? That was like our first like big enterprise client, and we had the same thing with a bunch of other clients, other big clients. Like whenever I just did like a free like redesign, free animation, free website, just did it for
Yeah.
free just publicly. So it's more like building public, right? So yeah, that was the
Yeah.
hack.
Yeah. No, I think there's so much in there. And I do think on Twitter, like people love the whole like behind the scenes approach versus just saying like,
100%.
hey, here's this thing I did. So would you say like for a freelancer right now, it's just like I don't hear you talking about like Instagram cold outreach or anything like that. It's like go find a format that can get people to come into your door like over and over again. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I would say, well, I mean, there is like four ways you can get the clients, right? The first one is like inbound, then I guess it's warm outreach, cold outreach, and referrals, right? Referrals, it's basically impossible, like if you start in the beginning, right? If you don't have like some
Yeah.
big career, if you haven't like worked with Google like for 20 years, and I guess you don't have any referrals, right?
Yeah.
Cold and warm outreach, that's good, right? The only thing is just takes, well, it's basically the thing I like about outreach is that it's basically guaranteed way of attracting clients, right? So if you've been in the market for many months or years and you haven't got a single client, and I guess that's the way for you to get the first one, because
Hmm.
if you send hundreds of thousands of DMs like to actually your ICP, you will definitely get at least one like yes, right? The thing with inbound, it's less predictable, right? And it's less predictable, but at the same time, it can give you like a much better output, right? And I
Hmm.
liked the inbound, the content creation like niche from the beginning. So that's the reason. Like, well, yeah, at the time, like when I pivoted like from Medium to X, I basically had nothing, right? I wasn't making any money. I didn't have any clients. I didn't have any followers. So I basically built everything from scratch, right? And even like if my account gets banned like tomorrow, I can like rebuild everything from scratch because I just understand. I just
Yeah.
love the content. I just love the like the
Hmm.
whole premise of like creating the content. And because you create the content, you create a sick content. People see that. People will love it. People will reach out to you. People will like work with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like the real suggestion for freelancers right now is like it's sort of non-negotiable to crack social media, whether it's Twitter,
100%.
I think is the best, but Instagram too. It's kind of like
Yeah.
that's the old days of just having a static website and thinking things are gonna work out, I feel like are kind of gone.
100%, 100%. The only thing is that you should always like you should wake up with the idea that no one knows you, right? Because no one
Yeah.
knows you, everything you should be like working on is like how to make people actually know about you, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, just create a bunch of content, create like 1, 10, 100 posts a day, right? Like on every platform, everywhere you can see, like every opportunity you can take. That's basically the secret, the main secret. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you and on? I see you're really active on LinkedIn recently. How has that been going for you compared to like X?
Yeah, so that's a funny story. So I hate LinkedIn, right? I'm not a big fan of LinkedIn at all, right? I was when I started on X, I had basically I was like a year ago. I had 0 followers on LinkedIn as well, right? And what I did is basically LinkedIn and X are basically the same platforms. They basically reuse the same content, right? The same type of audience, the same type of content. I basically just built like a simple Claude automation, right? And whenever I post anything on X, it just gets reposted on LinkedIn, right? And I just get like a notification like in Slack. They're like, hey, like do you want to post? Do you want to repost this post? And I just like change the copy slightly and say like yes, continue. And it just like posts everything on LinkedIn. Somehow, I guess the same content, like if the content went viral on X, it's with a 90% chance it's gonna go viral on LinkedIn as well, right? So all the animations, all the launch views that got hundreds of thousands of views, like on my account, right? They also get like hundreds of likes, hundreds of thousands of impressions, like on LinkedIn as well. So basically, I don't live on LinkedIn. That's why like sometimes people like DM me on LinkedIn. I just like ignore the DMs because I just don't like log in into LinkedIn like so often, right?
Hmm.
That I do on X. I just repost the same content from Twitter from X.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you say you have a Slack bot that tags
Yeah.
every X post and then suggests a post. Do you have an agent that like will refine the copy to be more suited for LinkedIn, or is it just the exact same post that's going on
It's
LinkedIn?
just me. Well, it's pretty simple, right? So what I mean by revising the copy is that, like on X, you can always start like with the lowercase letter whenever you do
Hmm.
the copy. On LinkedIn, it's usually nicer to start with the uppercase letter. So I would just change like one letter. Or sometimes, let's say on X, it's better to sometimes on X you just use like a more like Gen Z slang,
Casual,
right? Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And LinkedIn, you just like slightly adjust it, right? So it just like takes like a few seconds, right? And then it's just like write like
yeah.
continue, repost the post. Yeah,
That's it. That's sick. I love that. I think that I might have to steal that.
thank you, thank you.
Um,
Yeah, because before that I was using like all these like tools like Hype Fury, like Buffer, like Hotsuite, like all this like reposting like scheduling
yeah,
tools. The reason they suck is because I need to have the main platform where I live, and I live on X. I'm basically active like 24/7 on X because I want to like actually click the button, post on X, and I want to like see the
hmm,
comments. I want to reply to the comments. I don't want to be like in other UI, right? So that's why like tools
yeah,
like all this like Buffer and like how to they suck for me because in that case they remove the tool that they want to live with from me, right? And like my case
yeah,
is just like more tailored for me because I still have my own platform. It just like gets reposted automatically, yeah, like to every other platform, yeah.
yeah, 100%. I've heard a lot of like um where that just typefully in general is a little can be sometimes ineffective or can get like flagged.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
hey, cool. So I think like content and getting inbound clients seem to be something that you cracked like pretty well from early on, and it seems like you haven't really had too much trouble with it since then. Like that being like the first bottleneck that you like really solved, like what was next? Like was it like fulfillment, keeping the quality high, like coming with new ideas? Like how did you scale once you kind of cracked being able to get somewhat unlimited clients?
yeah. Well, the first bottleneck was just to get the first leads, like before I get the 5K followers, right? Then I guess the biggest bottleneck was how to convert the leads to clients, right?
Hmm.
Uh, that's actually important. So the thing is, I was always looking at that as like step by step process, right? So if I was able to like create the content and the content got me like one lead or 10 leads, and even though I didn't close anyone, right? It still tells me that the first step I did correctly. I can create like 10 times more content like this, and I can get 10 times more leads, and there is a higher chance that one of these like leads in the future will be converted. And so yeah, basically like they used this principle and I just like made a bunch of more posts and I get a bunch of more leads. And eventually I converted like the first one, the second one, the fifth one, and so on, right? I guess the next bottleneck Let me remember. Actually, yeah, I think I made like a little note as well. Oh yeah. So the next bottleneck was that was always stressed on the calls, right? Well, the first reason why, because I'm not a native in English, right? I didn't know how to speak English like 3 years ago, right? And yeah, I basically never talked to like any like I don't know like any companies, never talked to like any like English speakers, like I
Hmm.
never talked to anyone like online. So it was hard for me, right? And I had so many issues. I was so stressed in the call. I was literally like sweating, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, for me, like I actually had to overcome like all these fears. And like after having like I don't know like thousands of calls, I think I had like 3,000 calls like in total already. And yeah, I just don't care anymore. And so yeah, basically, when I was young, I was always afraid to be the salesman, and like everybody was telling me like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta be in sales because that's actually how you make like a lot of money. And I was always
Yeah.
afraid. I didn't want to speak to people, and eventually I just overcame that, and I became, I guess, a great salesman. And yeah, then I guess then I guess the biggest bottleneck after that was the capacity, right? Maybe like the time we reached like 40, 50K a month capacity finally hit. And it was just hard to scale at the time, right? Because you always need to hire better talents, better acquisition,
Yeah.
everything like that. So yeah, I guess like two biggest bottlenecks. So the talent acquisition and the capacity, right? Which kind of are similar to each other.
Yeah.
Then I would say,
I mean,
Wait,
how
so
did you solve the talent acquisition and capacity problem? Like, what went wrong and then what like went right with that?
yeah, so when it was like 40, 50K, I guess it's just the way I saw that at the time is just I increased the prices, so I had more money to hire like more talents, right, and then help me at the time. But the way we saw it right now is that, let's say we have a capacity of like 10 to 12 projects like a month, right? And the way we work is that basically we slightly overbook, right? So even though we can like get like 12 clients a month, we still like get maybe the 13th or 14th client, which is just so we always like keep a little bit stressed, right? And why we do that is because the more clients you get, the more money you make, right? The more money you make, the more you can hire. The more you can hire, the better talents you can hire as well, right? The better talents you hire, the higher of the quality of the work you do. So the more you can charge, and because the more you can charge, you hire the better talents. So it's like
Hmm.
it's like a never ending loop, right? Whether you just work with more clients, you just raise the prices, you do the higher quality of the job, you hire the better people. And as long as just yeah, like I guess there is some ceiling, right, which we haven't hit yet because we hire every day, every week, and we increase the prices every month, and we just get more and more clients every day. So I just like a never ending loop, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, the only thing is just a little bit tough in the beginning, like when you're below 50K MRR, because you might just not have enough of money to afford some really high quality specialists, right? Because like they
And you're looking
start
for full
charging.
time.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I have like we work like in both scenarios. Like the first one is like full time, the second was contractors. So I think we have like 6 or 7 people on a full time position, right? And like the rest, like 10 or 11 people are contractors. So yeah, that's the case. And yeah,
Awesome.
I also think it's always easier to scale with the contractors, right? It's just less cost efficient. Eventually, I guess
Hmm.
whenever you work with some contractors for long enough, you convert them to full time. But yeah, that's the key.
and when you're hiring, where are you mainly hiring for, and like what are you looking for? How do you vet the talent that you're
And where are you finding them is my
yeah.
other question.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I would firstly answer where do I find them? So I think I found 90% of my team on X, right? Even my co-founder. Many people don't know I have a co-founder. His name is Abu, and we actually built this agency together. And I was like the face. I'm like the face of the company. I'm like the sales, the marketing, like all of that, and like he's the production and like the internal management guy. And so yeah, I found my co-founder. I found 90% of my team on X, right? And so either people reach out to me and I try to check all of my DMs and try to review all the portfolios I see, or I reach out to some people, right? And like some people may have like 500 followers, like 5K followers, like 2K followers, like not a lot, right? And just because they have a nice quality of the work, it just like pops on my feed, and I just reach out to them and we just work together. Uh, the way we hire is we don't have a like real so we don't have a real system, right? the way we hire is that I think I heard it either from Elon or someone else, is that you never hire when you need the people, right? You always hire, and then eventually like you hire the smartest people, which can be helpful in the future, right? And so even though let's say right now like we don't have any issues with the animations, right? But I'm still gonna hire a great animator because we can still like find a way to like work with them like in the nearest future, right? And so
Yeah,
I
for
just like
sure.
reach out to all the people. Like even though we might not have like some position open like at the moment, I'm still gonna reach out to like this interesting person who's like super talented, who has like this insane
Hmm.
quality of work. So just reach out to everyone and I check all the DMs, even if someone like we don't do a lot of like 3D animations, but if someone like from the 3D motion design like background gonna come to me tomorrow with amazing quality, I'm gonna say like, yeah, let's work together. I'm gonna hire him immediately, right? And we're gonna like come up with some new projects that we could do maybe like for our company, for maybe like for free, like publicly. Like we can come up with some new projects, right? But yeah, we don't
Yeah,
have a system. We just hire all the time. Yeah, and all
love it.
basically 90% of the team is from X. Yeah.
Amazing. And you guys are 100% bootstrapped from the start.
Yeah. We haven't raised a
Yeah,
single
yeah.
dollar. So yeah, everything was dropped.
Oh, I want to just ask, like, what's your long-term goal with this agency?
That's a good question, right? So a year ago, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I told him that my goal was to reach the 300K a month mark. Um, it seems like it's not the final goal, right? Because right now we're at 200, and I think we're gonna break the 300 next month, actually. And it seems like it's not the goal at all, right? It seems we'll go much beyond that. We want to make much more, sign much more clients, go beyond that, like further and further. Um, let's say a million per month, right? And the thing is, it's not even about the money, right? Because I mean, within the last year, I guess the my lifestyle and the lifestyle of my company haven't changed dramatically. The main thing that changed is that the quality of the people we work with and the joy that we get from the work. Back in the days, doing the agency was so stressful for me. It was so tough because like you get like small like pre-seed clients, right? And like it's usually tough to work with them, right? Because they don't have the final
Hmm.
visual, they don't have the final like style, right? They don't have anything final yet, and it just like makes the process like 10 times harder, right? And the bigger
Yeah.
clients you get, the less revisions you get, the more structured the process becomes, and so on and so on, right? And yeah, we get like I had a call like with like Stripe and like Perplexity and like Airwallex like literally like last month, right? And we signed like these big companies. We also signed like $1 trillion company 2 months ago, right? Which we're not allowed to announce publicly yet, the name of the company, unfortunately. But yeah, so like it just yeah, just love the process. We just sign bigger clients. We just brings me joy. We travel with the team, and yeah, I guess the goal is like 1 million a month, but I guess we're gonna reach it
Yeah.
eventually. We're gonna be beyond that. Yeah.
I love it, bro. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's awesome. And I just have like a quick question. I mean, Harry, you might have to pause it here, but so or we can keep it in. But the so you guys are you're really reinvesting a lot of your monthly revenue back into building the
Yeah.
team and just continuing hiring.
Hmm. Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. We have like we try to allocate at least like 10 to 15% of the money to experiments, right? Which I call them, because we consistently hire new like agencies, new freelancers, new like people like in the team, right? And yeah, like not all of them are working. Not everything is working out, right? Because of that, it's just more like an experiment budget, just like to play and like see who is actually going to be part of the
Hmm.
team. So yeah. We just experiment with this money. We also invest a lot. If we want to talk about the budget, we invest a lot. I basically became like an angel like last year, like angel investor. I started to invest into some of our clients, right, and some of our friends. And so yeah, like I think we invested almost 100K within the last 12 months. So yeah.
And that's part
Sick.
of your company like fund or that's personal investments?
Well, that's basically me and my co-founder. So basically between me
Okay.
and him. Yeah. But yeah. So that's like we invest a lot. But I mean we allocate the budget to also like invest into our clients and like our friends and family. And yeah, it's been going amazing as well. Um, And yeah, our goal should sign bigger clients and build long-term relationships with each one of them. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, I want to talk about X right now.
Yeah.
Like as in 2026 or in summer 2026, like what are you seeing that's working for people right now that maybe some people aren't doing, or what's not working? Yeah.
Let me think. Okay, so definitely. Okay, so there is two things, right? That's the concept that we always use whenever we create launch videos, right? So you gotta make. So first of all, you gotta be different. Second of all, you gotta have some controversy in your content. Third of all, you gotta make some bold statements, right? And like these are the three things that the majority of the people like don't do, right? So again, whenever you do a launch video or you just like just a post on X, like it's literally just one-to-one strategy, right? You just wanna make something. So you wanna make like a bold statement that people will want to like or dislike, right? And so for example, I made like a post, I think it was like a year ago, maybe a year and a half, where I was basically saying that design engineers didn't exist, right? Because like all the design engineers I saw like in my career, like are usually just like bad at design and good engineering, right? I was saying like the good designers are the ones who like don't know how the product is actually created and they only know how it can be designed, right? And, like I just gave like a Steve Jobs as an example, right? And so that was like my point of view, right? And so I think the post got like 500,000 views within like a day. And I think Dylan Field, like the CEO of Figma, he also reposted the post like with his own thoughts, right? And it was like it raised like a lot of like controversy and questions like around this topic, right? And I also got like into Twitter news, like and like yeah, so like I got like hundreds of thousands of views, right? So yeah, I do think that you always need to express your opinions, and you don't need to worry and be afraid to make a bold statement. And obviously, I got a lot of hate because of that, right? But if that's what I believe, then yeah, I would love to argue. I would love to like see some opinions. I would love to, yeah, just like talk about that, right? But I don't have to be afraid of that if I just say my opinion. So just say your opinion if it's different, and if it's not as well, just say it out loud. Yeah. The next thing is yeah. How to create a controversy is that let's say right now like basically a bunch of companies that use AI to produce like designs or anything like that, right? And like a few posts that I did that went super viral, was like almost like 1 million views. Is like whenever I say like not a single prompt has been used, right? So whenever we do the launch video, and we say like, oh, like for this launch video, not a single prompt has been used, right? Which means that like it was made all by hands, like we haven't used Claude, we haven't used ChatGPT, we haven't used like Gemini, anything like that, right? Like it was like made with our hands, and because of that, a lot of people like want to relate to that, and they like when something's created like with their own hands. And like these posts, they also go pretty viral. So whenever you do something with AI, like either you made something with AI which is super impressive, or you made something super impressive without AI, right? That works really well. And obviously that's also adds controversy. I guess the other things are the articles. So articles are getting pushed by the algorithms extremely well. I wish that would be so like a year ago, right? But when the people like 2 years ago, basically when I stopped making articles on Medium and pivoted to X, I wish articles on X would be as valuable back then as they were right now. Right now is like the best time to write articles like ever, right? And if you generally write an interesting article, people are gonna read that, and you're gonna get the highest conversion in terms of the followers, the clients, and everything like that, right? From my experience, the thing is, you never write an article saying that how to build like a successful company, right? You always write an article from the perspective of how I built a successful company, right? How I signed like $1 trillion company, how I did this, did that, how I made like like $10 million from Meta ads, anything like that. So whenever you showcase the personal experience, that always resonates with people. Yeah, so articles is really good. I would
So the key lesson there, just to pause, is like the best content strategy is to continue doing cool things yourself and pull
Yeah,
from what's actually happening.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, well, the thing is, like, the contents are subjective, right? So you should always just try out a bunch of different stuff from yourself and just like see what's working, what's not, and if it's working, just like continue doing that. So that's the only advice, to be honest. Uh, I mean, one good thing to note is that you can actually just like browse people in your niche. If you're a designer, you just browse other designers. If you're like a content creator, if you're like a I don't know, like software engineer, just like browse other software engineers and see what they post, and just like try to like make something similar. I guess like not copy that, not steal the content, but just
Yeah.
do something similar. Yeah. So
Okay, one
uh,
question I want to add actually would be like if you, like I've spoken to a few people this past month, like family,
yeah,
friends, like people that have like they're either designers or like filmmakers and they have either gotten fired from their full-time job or like they have some good work but all they have is a LinkedIn and a website. Like
okay.
what would you tell those people to do in the next 30 days to like build their own engine on Twitter where they can start getting tons of work in? Like what's the
Yeah.
action steps 30 days? Like start by,
Mhm.
make 10 friends that have in your niche that you can repost. Like what would you do?
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing is that you just need to you just need to find the content that performed the preferred the best on LinkedIn, right? And just like reuse it on Twitter as well, right? So like again, like every content that booms like an X can be reused on LinkedIn, and the opposite, right? Every content like got million views on LinkedIn can be also reused on X, and it's probably gonna go viral, right? Yeah, you should definitely like ask your friends and family to follow you back, right? Just get the first maybe like 10, 50, 100 followers, right? With this method. Then yeah, the first step is always to make some friends on X, as you mentioned, right? So basically, you reach out to other designers, other content creators, and just like ask for advice, right? And yeah, ask for advice, ask to connect with them, right? You never say like, oh, like I'm gonna follow you and follow me back. That's like a cheap method to like attract like the cheap level of the cheap connections, right? You generally need to be curious about the other like person, right? And you actually want to become friends with them, right? I had, the first friend I made from X was his name was Andre, right? And Andre, he's from Russia, right? And then he moved to Dubai. Then he moved to Serbia, and he moved to Dubai. Like that's a long story. And so Andre was my first friend. He had like 700 followers, and I had like 300 followers. And I just like DM'd him, like asking for some advice because he had like double of my followers, and I was just curious, like how to actually grow on X, how to reach like your number of followers, right? Even though he was like one step above me, and he shared some advice, and we just like started to like repost each other, just like share some advice to each other, and eventually he grew to like 17K followers, and I grew to like 38K followers at the time, like right now. And right now we're working together, right? Like he's actually our head of storyboarding in the agency as well, and so that was like quite a long journey. And yeah, so you just generally need to actually make friends on this platform, just like not. The thing that separates LinkedIn from X as well is that LinkedIn is more like B2B in sales. X is more like of like connections, and yeah, just it's just more like Gen Z style. Like people don't want you to sell anything to them. People actually want to chat with
Mhm.
you. People want to grab coffee with you. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's the first step. Just make friends. The second step is yeah, just like get the first like 100, 200 followers because of that. Then just like repost the content that boomed on LinkedIn. Just repost it on X, and yeah, then like see what's working. And when you see if it's working, just like post 10 times of the same content over and over again. So yeah, I guess with the first month, you get like probably like 1, 2K followers easily, and then like it's gonna be like a snowball. You're gonna get more and more followers over time. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, no. And I I want to ask a question about really like you're the face of scale now, and like everything that you've been doing, you were doing design for a while,
Yeah.
and what like made that so now you're like less in the work and more just sales, or is it like what's your day-to-day really looking like?
Yeah, exactly. So back in the days, I was making the websites, right? That's why we opened the web design agency, right? At the start, I was also making the website. I was a designer, everything like that. Then eventually, I fully like pivoted to being only like the marketing and sales guy in the team and the CEO of the company, right? So yeah, my team, like again, like the best specialists, the greatest specialists, they handle the full process, all the management, all the communication, all the animation design process, and yeah, I'm basically well, first of all, I'm basically working on improving all the parts of the business, right? I'm improving the offers. I'm testing new offers. Obviously, I have like maybe like 4 or 5 calls every day, like within the last like year, right? So like every day, I don't have like a single day off. Then obviously, yeah, we just like I track all the data. I continuously have calls with my team members, and I just like manage them. I just find new things to add or remove from the business. So yeah, I would say the majority of the work is just content and yeah, internal stuff that help to actually grow the business.
Awesome. And then yeah, like as far as your offers, would you want to go into like what were your offers earlier on and like what do your offers look like today? What have you seen working the best, like first from retainer to project based to like packages, like any insights on that would be sick.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, I mean, back in the days, we were charging like 1K for animation for the launch video, right? And yeah, that's insane. It was like a year ago, right? It was like a year and a half ago. We were charging like 1,200 for the launch video, so that's kind of insane. And yeah, like eventually, well, basically, I used the principle that like every 5 clients we get that say yes to the price we name without questioning, we raise the prices, right? So
Mm.
the first 5 clients, they heard the price 1,200, and like without blinking, they just say like yes, right? So immediately we raise the price to like 2K. Then we charge 3K, then we charge 5K, and then it's 8K, 10K, 12K, 20K, 30K, and so on, right? And so, yeah, I don't want to disclose like how much we charge like right now, right? And I'm also not sure when the podcast is going to go live as well. And but yeah, so basically, we we scaled a lot, right? We basically went from like 1K to like 30K and above, yeah. Uh, that was like a big jump, and yeah, you just continuously like increase the prices, and every time you get well, it's always scary. I'm not gonna lie. When I was jumping like from like 1K to 2K, that was like the most less the most that's like the scariest thing I've ever done in my life, right? Because whenever you raise the prices, you think that you'll lose all of your clients and you will never get a single client in your career. You're gonna be like left homeless and without money, which obviously doesn't never happens. It's actually the opposite. Like the moment we raise the prices, we always get more and more clients, right? And yeah, we literally just raised the prices like this month, right? And we already got like more people than I could have imagined, right? And every time we raise the price, even like let's say like next week or next month, we're gonna raise the prices once again, and it's gonna be the same issue, right? I'm always gonna be scared to raise the prices. So, but we always do that. That's a part of the process. So yeah.